Guys, what's up? It's Overrated review time, and today's game is Star Fox for the Super Nintendo. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, I love this game. I love it, I love it, I love it. But how much do I love it? That is the question, and let's jump into it now. So in Star Fox for the Super Nintendo, you play as Fox McCloud. Very popular character, almost everybody knows him by now. But your goal is to take you and your flight crew and save the day as Andros has invaded a planet known as Corneria, and you need to go bring the fight back to where he is residing and be a BAMF. I love it. It's very simple, very straightforward, but it gets the job done, and nothing beats this intro. It is so freaking good. I love it. I love this game so much. I can't help it, okay? I can't help it. And one thing I also really like about this game is before you even jump into the game, you have options. For example, there are 4 different control schemes that you can choose from, and inverted controls all the way, guys. That is the way to play. That is the way God intended you to fly, so that is how I play it. But if you don't like inverted controls, you can choose, to go 3 different other ways. So it gives you variety, and there's a training mode so you can play around with it to become comfortable with this, because this was a relatively new concept with the Super FX chip that the Super Nintendo had. All of these things are made so they look like they are flying right at you, and you have to be very careful, articulate, and dodge all of the obstacles in your path, including Slippy. Okay, you don't have to dodge Slippy, you just might want to kill him. He's actually not as annoying, in my personal opinion, in this game, especially when compared to Star Fox 64, but I like their personalities, how they carried over into Star Fox 64, but it all started with this game. You have Falco, who's a little bit arrogant and kind of a dick. You got Slippy, who just still sounds annoying. You got Peppy, and yes, he will occasionally still remind you of your dead father, because that's Peppy for you. And it's nice. It's nice to see all these characters haven't really changed over the last 20 years. Did I say 20 years? I meant almost 30 years, and I am officially old. That's great. Thanks, game, for making me feel that way, because I played this when I was like 4. But yeah, no, if there's one thing I don't like about this game is the first-person view. It makes you feel nauseated, man. It's just up close and personal, and it makes it really hard to tell how much you need to move to the left or right and dodge all the obstacles and the enemies that are shooting at you. And that's the other small complaint I have about the game, is just the fact that because of the Super FX chip and the way this game is designed, it's hard to know sometimes whether or not you are going to be able to dodge certain obstacles that get in your way. Sometimes you'll feel like you did, but then it'll still say you hit it. So that could be frustrating, but it's few and far between, because everything else about this game is freaking sweet. The combat is engaging. The boss fights are awesome. They get more challenging, and speaking of challenging, you will be challenged in this game. There are 3 pathways that you can take, and if you're a very skilled player of this game, you can beat them all in about 3 hours, but most people will die several times, especially if you choose the harder pathways, as this game, even on the easiest path, which is the one in the middle, by the way, it's definitely still a challenging experience. It is one that feels very rewarding just for beating the game, and I love the soundtrack. I could listen to the soundtrack every day, all day, for the rest of my life, and I would be a very, very happy person. And now it is time for the letter grade, guys, and I give letter grades because that is the way I roll here on this channel. A being the best, F being the worst, and Star Fox for the Super Nintendo is awesome. It's amazing. I love it. 10 out of 10 in my book. But like I said, there were some problems, so I am going to knock it down a slight peg, and I give this game an A-. It's a must-play, guys. It really is. If you own an SNES Classic or the original Super Nintendo for that matter, and you haven't tried this game, you are missing out. This is just one of the best. I absolutely love it. This is actually my favorite Star Fox. Yes, Star Fox 64 is not my favorite. This one is. And I just love it. So, yeah. This concludes my Overrated review. Thank you guys so much for watching this extremely professional review. And if you enjoyed this absolutely the utmost highest quality of reviews. Be sure to click that like button, ring the bell, hit the subscribe button. Lots of things you have to do these days on YouTube. And I will see you guys on the next Overrated review. I am Bradley Overrated, out like a trout. Have a good one.